The first scream came from a school on Europa. It wasn't broadcast publicly. It wasn't shared on the net. It wasn't even known to most of humanity. It traveled through encrypted military channels, through diplomatic backdoors, and into the quiet offices of the United Nations Stellar Defense Council. By the time the council assembled, the footage had already been classified at the highest level. A dozen children, human children, were shown huddled in a classroom dome, their breath fogging the transparent polymer walls. Outside, towering alien figures in segmented armor moved with clinical precision, their limbs clicking as they worked. They were not raiders. They were not pirates. They were scientists. The Vraxil Collective had arrived peacefully decades earlier, presenting themselves as scholars, diplomats, and explorers. They spoke of shared knowledge, mutual benefit, and galactic harmony. Humanity welcomed them with cautious optimism. And now they were experimenting on human children. The footage was merciless. Small bodies restrained in levitation fields. Neural probes entering skulls. Emotional stimuli tested, pain thresholds recorded, fear responses cataloged like data points in a lab notebook. The Vraxil believed children were the purest form of a species' cognition. They wanted to understand humanity. They chose the worst possible method, the quiet before the storm. The first official response was diplomatic. Ambassador Celine Ramon stood before the Galactic Assembly, her expression calm but her eyes burning. "You abducted minors from sovereign human colonies," she said. "You conducted non-consensual invasive procedures. Under every interstellar treaty, this is a crime against sapience." The Vraxil representative, a tall, insectoid being named Thrix, tilted its multifaceted head. "We regret the misunderstanding," it said in a voice synthesized into a pleasant chime. "Your juvenile specimens were obtained through local intermediaries. We assumed consent was implied." Celine's fingers tightened around the podium. "Consent from who?" "From economic contractors," Thrix replied. "Your corporations provided access. Your parents signed relocation waivers. Your legal frameworks are flexible." The chamber went silent. Humanity had sold its children. Not knowingly, not willingly, but through layers of bureaucracy, corporate exploitation, and fine print that allowed educational exchange programs to be reinterpreted as research procurement. The Vraxil had exploited the loopholes perfectly. The Assembly issued condemnations. Sanctions were proposed. Committees were formed. And humanity waited for 48 hours. Then the second video arrived. This time, it showed a child who had not survived. The footage leaked. Not officially, but humanity saw it. And humanity changed. The human reaction. For most species, war required a strategic interest, territory, resources, political power. For humans, it required something else. A line crossed. Children were that line. Across Earth, Mars, Luna, and the outer colonies, riots erupted. Military recruitment surged. Scientists abandoned civilian research to join defense projects. Hackers tore into Vraxil networks and exposed centuries of classified data. Human parents didn't debate policy. They demanded blood. President Aisha Moreau addressed humanity from Earth's orbital ring. "We sought peace," she said, her voice steady but trembling with controlled rage. "We welcomed the stars. We believed that intelligence implied empathy." She paused. "We were wrong." Behind her, the footage of the experiments played on a massive display and censored. This is not war for conquest. This is not revenge for pride. This is punishment for cruelty. She leaned forward. "They touched our children. They will lose their stars." Project Extinction Protocol. Humanity did not declare war immediately. Instead, they unleashed engineers. The Vraxil believed humans were biologically fragile, emotionally unstable, and technologically immature. They were correct on only one point. Humans were emotionally unstable, and they weaponized it. Project Extinction Protocol began in classified shipyards beyond Pluto. Entire fleets were built in secrecy using AI-driven factories and dark matter reactors. Human scientists reverse-engineered alien technologies from decades of peaceful exchange, integrating them with brutal efficiency. The result was something no other species had built. Not ships, weapons ecosystems, self-replicating drone swarms that could dismantle entire planets, quantum entanglement communicators that bypassed jamming, psychological warfare algorithms that predicted alien societal collapse. The Vraxil never saw it coming. They thought humans were still arguing in committees. The first strike was silent. Human cyber warfare units injected code into Vraxil star maps, altering navigational data. Entire fleets jumped into stellar debris fields and neutron star gravity wells, disappearing without a battle. Then came the drones. Millions of autonomous machines emerged from hidden jump points around Vraxil colonies. They didn't bomb cities. They dismantled infrastructure. Power grids collapsed. Atmospheric processors shut down. Orbital habitats drifted into decay. Supply routes vanished. The Vraxil civilization began to suffocate. Thrix addressed the Galactic Assembly again, its once calm voice now fractured with distortion. "You are violating every law of interstellar warfare," it said. "This is disproportionate retaliation." Ambassador Celine Ramon's reply was simple. "Disproportionate to what? You hurt our children. We are removing your ability to hurt anyone again." The middle of the war. The Vraxil attempted resistance. They had advanced fleets, energy weapons, and shield technologies. They had never faced humans who believed extermination was mercy. Human commanders refused to target civilian populations directly. Instead, they destroyed the systems that sustained them. Terraforming machines, gene banks, artificial suns, trade hubs. The Vraxil economy collapsed in months. Rebellions erupted across their territories as subject species realized the collective could no longer protect or supply them. Some begged humanity for asylum. Others joined the assault. The Vraxil had spent centuries experimenting on lesser species. Now, every experiment had a grudge. The turning point. Halfway through the campaign, humanity captured a Vraxil research world. The planet was a vast laboratory, its continents covered in domed cities and underground vaults. Inside, human marines found archives of experiments conducted on dozens of species, and a wing dedicated entirely to human children. Thousands of files, psychological profiles, pain tolerance charts, behavioral manipulation studies.